Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This was a regular week of eating for us. When we did our last shop or haul, there was not a lot of new food items. We concentrated mostly on items that we already had in the house. We have lots of food. We didn't really need anything, so why spend the money? Check out what we were able to make this week. And I did do a little bit of a clean out and made kind of a clean out meal. Turned out amazing, very delicious. Let me know what you think. We're going to give the croissants a break for today. We are going to make wraps, but we're still using the cold cuts because once I thaw those need to get used up. We'll have lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, and I still have some black olives. Not the ones that I bought this week, but I opened just a can of no-named black olives that we still have some left. I'm also going to mash up an avocado and we can spread that on the wraps as well. There was one piece of the turkey left, so I cut it in half and then cut each of those pieces in half, so we're making that work. These are looking good. Now I just need to add some lettuce and wrap them up. I'm making a mess. And we will have wraps for lunch today. Oh dear. I thought this was an orange and I was cutting it up to put with lunch today, and turns out it is a grapefruit. I don't plan on eating this right now. I'm going to put it in a container and we can plan tomorrow around a grapefruit. I just don't think a grapefruit's going to go great with our wraps. Wraps, clementines, pickles, and a dilled carrot or pickled carrot. I'm making a half batch of pizza dough. So I need oil and salt and flour and water. I'm going to need some sugar and yeast. I just wanted to talk about my flour. So I store all of my, my label's coming off. I store all of my pantry supplies in airtight containers. This had some white flour in it, and when I was on the challenge I had some whole wheat flour that I had purchased with a rain check, and what was left of that whole wheat I just merged in with what was left in this container of the white, so now it's just kind of a blend. I probably never showed you guys this before. I keep my sugar in a Santa bowl. I just need 1 teaspoon. All right, pizza dough is 11. Right, take a peek. There we go. I am cleaning up my spices a bit. So these 3 spices, the basil, oregano, and cinnamon, I purchased when I was on the challenge. Each of the bottles was $1. The basil and the oregano, I just merged these into my actual spice holders. And the cinnamon, I actually have tons of cinnamon already, so I'm just going to put this in my Cubitote, and this one can go down to Cuba. And I'm going to clean these bottles and see if I can find some kind of a bulk spice that I can add into these to also take to Cuba. What I really like about these bottles is that they're plastic and really light, and they have shaker tops. The dough is nice and thin. Oh, man, that is going to stick. I need to redo something here or lift it up a little bit and throw some more flour underneath. Oh, maybe just in that one spot, because that will cause it to stick. Nobody wants sticking pizza. I'm going to use the pizza sauce that I made from the tomatoes that I got from the flash food box maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. The pizza is ready, so we were able to put on it onions, mushrooms, sweet peppers, jalapeno peppers, the little bit left of that shaved meat, some of the chicken that we had left over, and that was a combo of like the chicken drumsticks from last week and some of the chicken breast from last week. Also, black olives, cheese. I think that's everything. I threw a couple bacon bits on the top. This is the prettiest pizza I have made in a long time. This is restaurant worthy. Look at that. That looks so good. It's boiling hot right now, so we're going to let it cool a bit before we slice it and serve it. This is a late supper for us, so I just went ahead and cut this pizza into 4 giant size pieces. Look at that. So good. What's going to happen is I'm going to try to eat this right away. I'm going to burn my mouth because I'm too hasty. We are going to make a smoothie. We got banana, we got berries, we've got juice and protein powder, yogurt, and I don't have any spinach, but we are going to use up some of this. We're going to start with this. I'm probably going to need a little more liquid. Oh, it's starting. Okay. Pull the lid. Jeez. That'd be horrible. It needs my help. These turned out fabulous. Very, very purple today. Very purple. Every day with purple is a good day. We are going to have ribs for supper tonight. I'm going to use, this was an open pack of Stampede barbecue ribs. I need to mix this up. I need ketchup, water, vinegar, and brown sugar. We'll get these right in the oven. Here it is. I didn't have any brown sugar, so I just used white sugar and a little blurb of molasses. That'll work. Now I got to cut up those ribs and get them in the oven. We just pulled these out of the oven. They have been in there for an hour and 10 minutes. I am going to try to... I might need 2 hands for this. I want to make sure that we baste them with some of the liquid that's in there. They look really good. They smell great. I just need 2 hands for this. So I'm just kind of grabbing from in here and just basting everything. I don't think these are going to have to go in for much longer. Actually, we want to have these with baked potatoes, so I think we better get them started right away. Yeah, these are just looking so great. Baked potatoes are in, ribs are out. Let's get some broccoli going for supper. We haven't had broccoli in a long time. This is probably a little bit too much, but we haven't had broccoli in a long time. I'm just craving it. These look great. This is PC frozen broccoli. Ribs, baked potatoes, and broccoli. This smells amazing. Very excited. I actually can't even remember the last time we had ribs. Yummy. Or broccoli. We are making a dip. It's got some of this lactose-free cream cheese. It calls for lactose-free sour cream, but we are using lactose-free yogurt. Actually, let me rephrase that. It calls for cream cheese and it calls for sour cream, but we're using lactose-free cream cheese and lactose-free yogurt. We're also adding in bacon bits and cheddar cheese and some epicure spices. We're going to heat this up and we are going to serve it with crackers. All right, this looks amazing. Let's try it. Ooh. It's good. Ooh, I made it a little spicy. That's okay. That's okay. Smoothie again for lunch today. We are going to use yogurt, berries, protein powder. The juice is all gone now. So what I am going to do is I got this while we were on the challenge and we never even opened it. It's an oat nog. We're going to open this now. It's got a best before March 21st. So I know we're flexible with things like that, but this is getting close to the end of its... Like, I want to get it open and get it used up to make sure that we don't lose it. I'm not sure how long an oat nog would last after the date. We have a banana, and I'm going to use maybe half of the romaine that's left. You can see that this romaine is getting at the very, very end of the life cycle. And this is a absolutely perfect way for me to use it up, because it's going to be blended into like a million little bits. You're not even going to know you're eating browning lettuce, romaine. Not as purple as our last smoothies. I didn't put quite as many berries in today. It's still quite purple, but I added in a little bit of a greens booster that I have. Handsome One's not a fan of the greens booster. He says it tastes like grass. So I snuck it in here because if I was just going to have a greens booster, like I could mix it with water. He hates it mixed with water. So he wouldn't be horrified to know that I put it in the smoothie because he feels the smoothie masks the grass taste of the greens booster. But it's a good way for us just to boost. It's just full of all kinds of good stuff. I want to make my own greens booster. I've done dehydrated broccoli. I can add dehydrated spinach to it, just all kinds of things. But this is really fortified. This one's fortified. Mine would just be the actual veggies. It's just me for supper tonight. I am making something super simple that I actually really like. I'm just making spaghetti with pasta sauce and butter. Yay me. All right, I've got it drained. Lots of good butter in here, real butter. And once that melts, then I will add in some pasta sauce. I just poured some sauce on. I'll need more. You know, guys, every meal doesn't have to be big and elaborate. I really enjoy simple stuff like this. The Handsome One is not a pasta lover, so even the simple things like this, I rarely ever make because he's not a fan. So it's exciting for me to be able to have just some simple things like this when he's out. I am going to add a little bit of red garlic and a little bit of 3 onion. This looks great. The Handsome One's home now. He's having leftover ribs. There was no leftover potatoes, so he's making these hash browns to go with it. And I am making brownies. Santa got the Handsome One these cookie brownie biscuits for Christmas. So the oven is already heated from the hash browns, so we're just going to put this together and get it in the oven. This came with 2 separate packages inside. This was the brownie mix. This was the chocolate chip cookie mix. You mix the brownie stuff first, put it into the pan, mix the cookie dough, and then drop it in 9 scoopfuls onto there, and then it goes in the oven. Yep. So we're going to get it in the oven. I think this turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. For lunch today, we're going to use up some little bits and pieces of things. We have 2 croissants left, so I want to use those up. I pulled out of the freezer. I've made these little omelet freezer packs for ham, and I separated them inside so that I could just pull out enough for omelets without having to pull out the whole thing and thaw it. I've got a tiny little bit of yellow pepper left. This is red onion. These have some in there that are not in the best shape. We've got cheese. So we are just going to mix these up, cook them, and have cheese, ham, and egg omelets on croissants. The ham was frozen, so I'm just going to put that in the frying pan first. I'm going to use the heat from the frying pan to thaw that, then I'll separate it, and then I'll make the little omelets. It's getting there. Still several big frozen chunks. The Handsome One decided he didn't want onions, peppers, or tomatoes. He only wanted cheese, ham, and egg. So I'm making this in a circle so that it can just directly go on his croissant because they are very circle shaped. All right, this one's mine. Let's get the cheese on. This is how they turned out. They look amazing. I actually even did what I thought was a very clever frying pan maneuver. I flipped them over so that the cheese side was down. Of course, it was sizzling, and then I laid the bottom of the croissant on top of it, and then I flipped the whole pan over onto my plate here. Yeah, sometimes I have fancy maneuvers. We are having hamburgers tonight for supper. We have 4 hamburger buns left. I've just been kind of craving sloppy joes, but an easier meal for us tonight is just going to be burgers. I don't know what we're having with it yet. Burgers are done. I don't even know still what we're having with this. I didn't make anything. The handsome one cooked these. Burger. Fries to go with the burgers. Home fries, I should say. We're going to do tuna wraps and some fruit for lunch today. Tuna wrap, grapes, almonds, and pickles. Tuna wrap, grapes, almonds, and pickles. For supper tonight, we are going to have an Alfredo pasta. So the handsome one has chosen bow ties. And we are going to cook some chicken strips that we have in the freezer. We are going to slice them and place them on top. We also have some bacon bits, and we can cut up some tomatoes as a garnish. This is going to be great and easy. Great and easy. All right, I've got the oven preheating. It's got to get to 400. And then we will cook the chicken strips, and I'm going to get a pot on to boil. Almost done. And these are ready. All right, I've got my Alfredo open. I'm just going to pour some in here and stir this up. I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to need. I got to switch hands. More. Okay, gonna add some bacon. We're almost ready. This is the handsome one's. He loves an Alfredo sauce. I am actually going to make mine into a rosé sauce because I have a little bit of this tomato-based sauce left from supper the other night. I'm just going to add a little bit in here. We'll stir that up. Here we go. And we are both happy. The handsome one happy with his Alfredo and me happy with the rosé. I've pulled a bunch of different broth bags. This looks like I just threw some broth in a bag. These ones are actually briquettes. This looks like some pasta sauce that I had froze. I'm going to make a small soup for lunches for the next couple of days. And I'm just trying to clear out some stuff out of the freezer. I added water. This onion is going to go in there. Let's use some lentils. We'll throw in some beans. We'll throw in some split peas. Yeah. I'm going to add potato, celery, carrots. This is some chicken, some previously cooked chicken that I'm going to add in. Yeah, this is going to be great. All kinds of stuff added in here. Beans, peas. And there's no recipe for the soup. I literally just went in my cupboard and said, what do I have that could go in a soup? What little bags can I use up that could go in a soup? I went in the fridge drawers. What do I have that can go in a soup? I have some powdered broccoli. We grew broccoli in our garden. It wasn't that great, so we decided to dehydrate it and dry it out. And so I'll add some broccoli powder in and some other spices. It's going to be great. So you can see here, it's starting to cook. I added in some tomatoes that were not in the best shape. It smells good. Looking forward to it. We haven't had soup in a while and I've been missing it. If this soup tastes anything like it smells, it is going to be fabulous. I am very excited. Things are starting to happen. Peppers are going in. Jalapenos. Tomatoes. We've got Rucker and Wenzel's. I still would like to get one more variety of tomatoes, something that is known to be hardy to Nova Scotia. This is our little greenhouse setup. Yes, we've got it directly in front of the windows. That always worked for us well when we were in the other house. We didn't have this set up last year at all. We didn't do seedlings. I'm happy. Yeah. We are going to eat up the rest of these hot dog buns with obviously hot dogs. And we're going to make this Annie's bunny pasta with yummy cheese sauce. As you can see by the black spots, I wasn't paying the closest attention to the wieners. They're ready. We're just waiting on the pasta to be done, and then I can mix up the Annie's. Hot dogs and Annie's mac and cheese, the little bunnies. The soup turned out really great. Wonderful flavor. Sometimes just getting those little bits of odds and ends out of your fridge and your freezer can turn out just so wonderful. It was delicious yesterday. We're both looking forward to it again today. There's definitely enough soup left for a couple more days. This is the odds and ends of some crackers. I'm just going to add some of these into my soup. Get them used up. Starting to attempt to grow some green onions. We'll see how this goes. We've been successful with it in the past. I'm quite focused this week, or I have been, of trying to use up some older items. This is an older item out of the pantry from long ago at Gateway. I think these were, I don't know, 99 cents or 49 cents, something really inexpensive. We've got this yellow pepper, which is out of a flash food box. Some onions starting to sprout. I don't even know how long this has been in the freezer. I can't even remember the last time I bought club packs of ground beef. So yeah, let's get this started. It's coming along, a little more cooking before we add in the pasta, the sauce mix, and the water. Let's add the water. Noodles, and sauce packet. Smells good. Full of sodium. I know. We're clearing this stuff out of the cupboard. Now we're getting there. Hamburger helper for supper. Looking great. It was a good week, guys. Nothing really spectacular happened except we're eating down food from our supplies. We've started our seedlings. We've been watching a lot of specialty gardening videos, a lot of container videos, a lot of small space videos. We are going to try to concentrate this year on growing up. So I've been watching, if you haven't heard of it, Google string tomatoes. String tomatoes. So instead of having them in cages, you grow them up strings. Have I ever done this before? Absolutely not. We have no idea what we're doing. But I do think that it might be the best kind of gardening for us and for our space. We're so limited here. We have been looking at some companion planting videos. I think we are going to try to grow garlic. I should say garlic scapes as a pesticide to help keep bugs away from the tomatoes. Anyways, we were getting all kinds of ideas. It's fun to kind of plan this time of year. And I just want to encourage anybody that has any kind of space whatsoever. You don't need to have a full garden. If you haven't been following along, last year we container planted exclusively. We moved and we came from a space where we had a really large in-ground garden to a space where the ground is very rocky and just not really viable at all. So last year, first year, we did almost exclusively container gardening. I encourage you. One plant can make a difference. Have a great weekend, everybody. Let me know your thoughts and comments. They all help me. Likes and shares. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do so. Thanks.